Hello guys, my name's Ben and this is Bad Bikes, and today we are going to be fixing up a vintage bike. This is a Volkswagen bike made by Trek. It is pretty interesting because back in the day, around the 80s or 90s, if you bought a certain Volkswagen car, you got a bike, which I think is really cool. Anyway, today's customer wants us to replace the cables and housing of the bike, put on a new chain, and upgrade the tires and tubes. I began by removing pretty much all the cables from a bike. This was extremely easy and I dare say a lot of fun. Not that this whole process is fun, but this was even more fun. I think you get the point. Then I gave the bike a good cleaning. I always think this takes a lot longer than it actually does. Alright, now let's remove the dork disc. So much better. And since we are already working on the wheels, let's put on the new tubes and tires. The bike is going to ride so much better with these new tires. And now because the cables and housing have been removed, I need to replace them with new cables and housing. I ended up not doing this in a very orderly fashion. At first I cut all the cables to the exact same size as the old ones, but then I sort of got sidetracked and ended up doing a mix of measuring the cables out to their original length and measuring them out the way I thought they should be. After that process was done, I needed to install the chain. Do you think I should shorten it? Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Now it is time for me to tune everything. No, not that type of tuning. It's like, you know, when you tune the bike to get it super dialed. The rear derailleur was really easy. I've done that before, multiple times. The front derailleur, on the other hand, was a little bit more troublesome. The angle was a little tricky for me to tighten the cable, but in the end, I was able to get things working really well. Last but not least, and probably the most important, was the brakes, which I had the most trouble with because I had never done them before. But after that, I got them figured out and it was actually easier than tuning a derailleur. Now at this point, you could pretty much start riding the bike, but we all know a bike's not complete without details. Now we are looking good. I'm always so surprised at how good you can get these bikes looking and how easy it is to work on them. If I had to only have one bike and live in the middle of nowhere, I would probably go with an old vintage bike because you can pretty much use vice grips and a few hex wrenches to get the bike back into perfect working order and to do any repair you'd ever need to do. I really like vintage bikes. And it makes me happy to, for the lack of a better term, breathe new life into these older bikes. I encourage you to start doing it yourself. Thanks for watching. As always, my name's Ben, and this is Bad Bikes, and I will see you in the next video. God bless.